So guys, how are we all doing? I hope that you're all having a good weekend out there. Now it's Sunday afternoon here, and I've been catching up with some of my subscribers here on YouTube, checking out all your videos. Awesome job, guys! Keep up the great work with all your great videos. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about various computers that I've used over the years. For those of you that have followed my YouTube channel for quite a while now, you'll know that I'm quite into my technology, you know, computers, cell phones, digital cameras, all that good stuff. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I decided to create a new tech channel, because I wanted to keep a channel separate for sort of tech related stuff, like, you know, if it's to do with computing, technology, you know, cameras and unboxing videos and product reviews. So yeah, go and press the subscribe button as well, as I really would appreciate your support, everyone. Now, for those of you that, as I've said, that know me, you know that I'm into my computers, and you'll also know that I'm into my Apple products. Now, over the years I've had many Apple computers. I've also had, you know, like the Apple iPhones and stuff, the Apple iPods, so I've always had a strong interest in Apple related products. Now, for Jacob, if you're watching this is a message for you. I know that you're thinking of switching over from using Windows. You're thinking of migrating over to the Mac system, and it certainly be a decision that you won't regret, because once you go over to OS X, you know, you tend not to go back. You know, because I've known so many people that have done the same thing. But what I want to talk to you guys about is my very first iMac computer that I bought. Now, I mentioned this to my good friend Jacob. I do still have the computer, and it still works absolutely perfect. And what I thought I'd do, guys, is to show you it now. My very first iMac computer, and there it is in all its lovely glory. Now, I bought this iMac. When did I buy this now? Oh, crikey, it was a few years ago now. It must have been over 10 years ago now that I bought this computer, and I've got to tell you guys, let me just try and get my camera into focus. It has been a brilliant computer, and still to this day it is still a good computer. Now, okay, it's not as quick as what all these modern computers are like, obviously. But it still does basic stuff, you know, and it can still handle certain things. And I just want to give you, now before I power this computer up, I just want to give you a little tour around the actual iMac itself. As I said, this is one of the very first iMacs that Apple brought out. And when I bought this computer, it cost me a lot of money. It was the top of the range Apple computer that you can get. Now let me just show you around it. If we go in slightly. Now at the front, obviously you've got the 15-inch screen there. Now this is the old cafe tube screen. It's not a flat screen obviously or anything like that. Still works perfectly, as you'll see in a few minutes. If we move down slightly, you can see obviously it says iMac there, and we've got a slot loading CD drive here. Now there was actually a couple of different versions of the iMac. The first generations of these particular iMacs came with ordinary CD drives that you press a button and the drive actually opens up at the front, it pops out. But then they redesigned it and they introduced all the iMacs with these slot loading DVD drives or CD drives. If we go in slightly, you can see that your CDs just slot in there, and yeah, it works really well. If we move over slightly here, you've got some inputs here for some headphones, so you can plug two lots of headphones into here as well. And then if we go across again, you've got some speakers. You've got a speaker on each side. Very good quality sound speakers as well. Now they're only tiny little speakers, but they do pack a punch when it comes to playing music and films and stuff. Now what I've got at the moment is I've got my wired Apple keyboard. Obviously this isn't the original keyboard that came with the iMac. This is the more up-to-date keyboard, but I wanted to plug it in to the iMac to show you guys how it all works. And I've got a Logitech wireless mouse that's linked into my iMac via the receiver there that you can see. And if we move down slightly, you can just about see there's the actual stand for the iMac to actually tilt it up. That's the stand there that you can see, that clips onto the very base of the actual iMac itself. Now let's go around to the side. Here's what the side of it looks like. Now this is what they call the Bondi blue colour. When Apple bought these iMacs out, they bought them out in a multitude of different colours and designs, and for their day that they were released, they were revolutionary. I mean, people went absolutely crazy over these machines. Going round again, you can see at the back you've got the famous Apple logo there on the back there, and then obviously you've got the power cord that goes into the back here. If we go up slightly, now here's the back of the actual iMac itself. This is a ventilation grill to let all the warm air out that obviously builds up when you have the iMac on, because obviously this has got the old type of screen inside. It's not a flat screen. The old cafe tube screens do let out a lot of heat, and obviously that's why these grills are here. Now, what I like about this iMac, it's a very clever design, the way Apple did this for its time. This, guys, is actually a handle, and what you can do is you can literally pick the whole machine up via this handle at the back here. Really cool design. Apple really do know how to design their products. Now let's go round to the other side of the actual machine itself, and I'll show you guys what types of connections you actually get here. This is the actual side where all the connections are that you can make out. You've got a microphone jack there for plugging a microphone in. You've got an input here for plugging a set of speakers in here. That connection there that you can see there is for plugging your telephone line in. If you were back in the day when I used to have this connected to a 56k modem, that just gives you an idea as to how far back this iMac goes. You plug your modem in there, and then here you've got two USB ports, which obviously I'm using at the moment. Now this iMac, believe it or not, only came with two USB ports on the actual machine itself, which for the day, for that particular time, back all those years ago, it was pretty good. But I did used to have a USB hub connected to this, because obviously two USB ports are never enough, you know, for what you want to use it for. And then if we go a little bit further over here, we've got the Ethernet connection here that you can see for plugging your Ethernet cable into. So it's a pretty good design how they put it all together. Now the other thing as well, on the first generation of this particular iMac that they brought out, there used to be like a little door, a little plastic door that used to sort of flip up, and it used to close, and it used to cover all this up, and there used to be like a little hole in the middle of the door for the cables to come out of. But they decided to do away with the door and just keep it open like this, all exposed, which is pretty cool. Also there's a couple of buttons here that you can just about make out. Now that button there where my finger is, that's to actually reset the machine, and that button there, I don't know what that button's for. I've never used that button, but that one, like I said there, that's for the reset, for rebooting the actual system. And there you go, guys, there's a little tour of the iMac. Now also I forgot to mention, you've got a little built-in microphone along the top there that you can see, actually inbuilt into the actual housing itself of where the screen is at the top there. Good microphone as well, very good. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now, this is going to be the first time that I've powered this system up in probably about a year. So fingers crossed, let's hope this works. Here we go, so let's press the power button. We have a green light. That's the infamous OS X boot up sound, and any minute now we should get the screen powering up, I'm hoping. There you go guys. Now my apologies for the flickering that you're actually getting on the screen here. On the old cafe tube type screens you do tend to get this, so my apologies for that. But OS X is actually booting up on the actual machine now itself. The actual flickering that you're seeing is something that I'm not seeing, because it's the camera that's actually picking that up. I'm looking at the screen and it's working perfectly. But yeah, just to sort of give you And if we go in a little bit closer, you can see it's not so bad. But yeah, you can see that OS X is booting up. This is the very first generation of Mac OS X that actually was released by Apple, and that's what I've got installed here on this system. Now this does take a little while to boot because, like I said, this is an older spec iMac, so it does take a while. It's not as quick as all these modern Apple computers that are obviously out these days, but it will boot up. Give it time. Give the old man a chance to boot up. It's been a good machine to me, and you know something, guys, I could easily sell this. Well, I say easily, I don't know if really anyone wants these older iMacs these days, but the thing is, to be truthful with you, I haven't really had the heart to sell this because I know that, and I've mentioned to my good friend Jacob about this, I know that eventually this machine will be a collector's item, and it'll be worth quite a bit of money in years to come, so I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to hang on to it. And here we go, guys. This is OS X. Now this is I've got icons all over the place here, like I said. So guys, here's the system that some of you will be familiar with in OS X. You've got the system preferences here. It does look a little bit different on this first version of OS X that was released, but it still pretty much does the same types of things with, you know, the dock and all that kind of stuff, the display, energy savings. And just to give you a quick overview of the actual spec of the computer, it is running to version OS X 10.2.3, guys, if you can just about make that out, with a system memory of 384 megabytes, and the processor is a 350 megahertz PowerPC G3 processor. Now obviously the memory is very low on comparison to what, you know, RAM you get in modern computers, but for back in the day, for running this particular machine, it was okay, you know, it was really good. I'm going to turn back the clock now, guys. I'm going to boot in to the previous version of the Mac system that was out even before OS X came out, and I'm going to boot into it now and show it to you guys. This is going to be an experience. This will bring back some memories for certain people out there that might remember this system. Let's go into the startup items. Let's boot into Mac OS 9.2.1. Let's do this. Restart. Now, for my dad who might be watching this, he'll remember this boot up sequence. The infamous dong there that you get when you boot the Mac up or when you reboot. Like I said, for my dad who might be watching this, if you're watching this, you'll certainly remember this boot up sequence. Okay, we're getting a little bit of flickering again now, my apologies for that. Oh look, there's the little Apple computer there. For anyone that's used to using a Mac computer, and that has done for many years, you'll remember that little Apple icon there. And that boot up menu there, Mac OS 9.2. Welcome to Mac OS. Here we go, it's booting up, and we should get a load of icons that will start appearing along the bottom here as it's booting. Here we go, here they are. This is loading up the actual system itself now. This is how the Mac operating system used to load up back in the day. Loading up with the control panels, etc. QuickTime, speech software. And any minute now we should have Mac OS 9 in all its glory once it appears. And there you go, guys. Let's close some of these windows down. My God, this really does bring back memories using this. The icons just look so different on here. I mean, there's no dock on the bottom here. Like there is in OS X. You've got a little system, you've got a little like tab menu there that pops out to access various different options like your sound, etc., for turning your sound up and down, you know. You've got your trash icon there, which I don't know if you can make out amongst the flickering. Open up your actual hard drive. That's what the windows look like when you used to open them up in OS 9. Your system folder there. I mean, really, guys, this just brings back some awesome memories for me. for how this system, I mean, and this used to be a really good system. I used to love using this system. You know, it was really, really advanced. I mean, for its day, Mac OS 9 was really, really an awesome system. It really was. Now, if we go up to about this computer, it gives you information here. Version Mac OS Z1, and then it says 9.2.1. Built-in memory is 384 megabytes. Virtual memory I had switched off, because back in the day you used to be able to switch what they call virtual memory on, which used to, how that used to work is it used to take space from your hard drive and it used to use it as what they call virtual memory, which was a really cool feature back in the day. If you didn't necessarily have a great deal of RAM installed, you used to be able to utilise space from the actual hard drive, free space, and use that as RAM. Very, very good little feature that was. Yeah, it's that's OS 9, guys. Just thought I'd give you guys a little overview of OS 9 for those of you that may have never seen it before. You may only be used to using OS X on an Apple computer. This just brings back some really good memories, certainly for me, and obviously for many other people out there that used to use OS 9 and OS 8 even. And that is pretty much it, guys. That's my overview of my old classic iMac. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. And until my next video, take care. And if you enjoyed watching this, obviously give me a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below. And if you're not subscribed, please press that subscribe button along the top. And like I said, for those of you out there that may have had one of these beautiful little machines, drop me some comments down below and let me know what your experiences are with this machine, because I really would like to hear from you. Until my next video, guys, take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.